because you knew you had to guard me all the way out there. Everywhere I went, it was shooter, shooter. My name became shooter. And Kevin, it still is.
It sure is. Thanks, David. Two struggling teams with frustrated players. Brent, when you were playing, did you have any kind of trick for kind of getting out of that malaise, that trough?
Sometimes for individuals, you have things that you've gone to in the past, whether it was through your high school career or your collegiate career. The interesting thing about a team dynamic, Kevin, is how do you do it collectively? And so the best way is to try to find something that you can do to step away from the game. Put your mind onto something else. Try to normalize an experience throughout the year.
Like what? I mean, give me an example.
Well, maybe something where your team goes out to go see a movie together, or on the road, you go somewhere to a museum, or I know it sounds silly, but any time that you have that kind of away experience and you come back in, the perspective on the next game changes maybe just enough for you guys to recover.
And now Washington's starting group. Wall runs the point with Beal at the 2. Brown out there with Davis Bertans. And it's Bryant in at the 5, down low. And for the Cavaliers, Osman and Love are the forwards. Garland and Sexton man the backcourt. And it's Thompson in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And so it's the Cavaliers getting on the board first. Back to Bryant. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed.
Uncovered at the rim, finding cracks in the defense here early on.
Just really smart basketball and exploiting whatever holes that he's seeing right now in the defensive squad.
Here's Brown. Good. And it's Beal picking up the assist.
Beautiful transition offense there. That's execution at its best.
Yeah, once you burst through a seam like that, you got to look right towards the rim. Sweet play.
Now, here's Sexton. Over in the corner, Osman. Just 5 on the clock. Lets the 3 fly. Bertans grabs the board. Outside, Wall. Pass to Bryant. Outside, Beal. For 3. It's rebounded by Cleveland.
Well, the D really getting away with one there. No one on him. And that's going to be good 9 out of 10 times.
And the pass to Thompson. Here's Osman. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And Brent out of Macedonia, Cedi Osman, 24 years of age and second in minutes played for the Cavs last season.
Yeah, Cedi, a lot of tumult around the team with his introduction to NBA basketball, but don't forget, a couple years playing pro in Europe and a top player on the Turkish national team. I think he's really ready for a bigger role with this organization.
Shooting 2.
That one is off. Well, it's a new front office in Washington, and Greg, they've got their work cut out for them.
John Wall's huge supermax contract as he deals with the Achilles injury. Tough questions to be answered about the direction they're going to take talent-wise.
He hits the second from the line.
Look at the youth movement here going on in Cleveland. They had a lottery pick to work with 2 seasons in a row, and now a college coach coming in with a bunch of young players. You wonder if some of their veteran guys might not be around the entire season as they look to continue to try to collect some assets to rebuild this franchise.
And here is Garland. Pass to Osman. And Sexton has it in the corner. Carries it from 3-point range. And Brent, the Cavaliers have been lucky with high lottery picks.
Well, they got really lucky with that #1 pick in LeBron James many moons ago, Kevin. But it's time for a rebuild here in Cleveland. And you wonder what the rookies that are coming in this season, along with John Beilein as a tremendous offensive coach in college at the University of Michigan, if this all doesn't help accelerate some of the learning curve for these young talented players.
Here's Thompson after the basket by Washington. Sexton has it in the corner. Fires from deep. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. 6 points for Colin Sexton.
Looking better and better from that range is Colin Sexton.
So timeout called here, the first for Washington.
We've seen this explosion of Canadian players in the NBA. And really, Tristan Thompson led that way. The fourth pick back in 2011, Thompson was, at that point, the highest drafted Canadian in NBA history.
And a new group getting ready to come in for Washington. Wagner, he's checked in for Bryant. Hachimura comes in for Davis Bertans. C.J. Miles, he's checked in for Brown. And Thomas subbed in for John Wall. Thomas, that's good. And Thompson may have led the way for Canadians. But as far as where the league is going, Greg, he's a throwback player.
I mean, a rebounder and rim runner. His game is built on toughness and hustle.
Here's Clarkson. Isaiah Thomas making his last shot.
We'll have a hard time shaking that one off. Perfect position, plenty of space. Just clanked it.
Hachimura, no good. And so Clarkson will bring it up for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They trail by 1. And the jam by Larry Nance.
Yeah, you could throw it just about anywhere for Larry Nance Jr., and then he'll know what to do with it.
Thomas finds Beal. They double team Beal. Now here's Miles. The Wizards working the ball around now. From deep, Thomas. Love grabs the board. Cleveland's gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. They double team Love in a wide open look for Porter. Second chance effort, and the layup good by Love.
Kevin Love all about positioning in there, battling and finding some space, keeping the play alive with that kind of activity.
Beal against Porter. Porter with the steal, and now Porter pushing it up. No one back to stop him. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Bradley Beal picks one up.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
The Cavaliers have converted 1 of 2 free throws so far today.
And last season, as a team, they knocked down 79% of their free throws. So those are numbers you'll be happy with.
Free throw good. Porter. And Porter drops them both. Now, here's Thomas. From deep. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. And we reach the end of the first quarter. Cleveland ahead as they end the first quarter on a 12-4 run. Growing up the youngest of 5 with 4 older sisters. John Wall. And Wall had his challenges certainly growing up. We all know those stories, losing his father at a young age, but his mother, his aunts, Greg, his sisters, they protected him.
Helped him to get where he is now. We see it so often. A young man making it to the NBA is really a victory for the entire family.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And what do you guys think about the Cavaliers so far in this one?
Well, one way to generate more offense, pound the offensive glass. That was the difference in the first.
Keep plays alive with your activity. That's what it's about.
Taking a look at the Wizards. At the forward spots, Miles and Hachimura. Ish Smith is out there with Thomas. And it's Wagner in at center. And we all know how rough things have been for Thomas the last few seasons. Greg battling injuries and trying to find the right situation for his talents.
And the injuries have clearly taken their toll on Thomas. A lot of things need to go right for you to be a star player at his size. And lately, that just hasn't been the case.
Looks like the game plan is they're willing to give him that kind of shot. It worked out for them this time, but they give it to him.
Passes it to Hachimura. Shoots over Clarkson, and the Wizards getting another bucket right there.
We'll see if they can finally hold on to a lead. It's been back and forth all night.
Well, you can tell they really want to increase this lead. They can't keep letting them take it from them.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Cavaliers. In player development, Brent, what are some of the primary things that can be taught?
I think in today's game, what a lot of PD coaches are looking at, Kevin, is just decision making, playing out of the pick and roll and coming off into a spot where you're making the correct reads. It's much like, and you cover a lot of football, where you can talk to quarterbacks about their checkdowns.
Yes.
I think you can teach guys how it is that when they come off a screen, what's going to be available to them, and paint pictures for them so that when they're on the floor, they become second nature in terms of their decision making. That can be huge. And then the second thing is always player development, working on confidence in shooting the basketball. You just want guys to feel like whatever shot they're taking, they've got a great chance of making it.
Cavaliers leading. Oh, Nance in position.
Sexton realizing that one of his guys is wide open, and that court awareness, he was able to get it to him.
Now Wall. No points in the game yet for him. Takes a three. No good that time. So Cleveland will take it the other way. Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Garland the pass to Nance. And good that time. Nance has got the lead up to 6 now for the Cavs.
Solid in the first. Fantastic here in the second. He was just waiting for the moment.
Smith with it. Wizards passing it around. Brown outside. 3 on the clock. Shot to stop the run. Thompson with the rebound.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
It's deflected, but they recover it. Now here's Garland, covered by Smith. They get the rebound. Thompson.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Here is Wall, and the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. Beals checked in for Smith. Here's Sexton. Pass to Osman and taken away by Brown. 4-on-3 break. Shot is good, and the Cavaliers lead cut down now to just 4 in the basket from Bradley Beal.
This can make it so much easier for your teammate when you throw that lead pass that gets to him right on the money, whether that's on the run or in the shooting pocket.
Sexton finds Thompson. Here's Nance. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. Thompson's got 3 assists in the game. Wizards trail by 6. Outside, Wall. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points, so 1 free throw coming up.
And just the overall aggressiveness. Wall enjoys taking on a challenge and succeeding, especially when the D is all over.
The Wizards shooting their first free throw of the game. Looking at who's out there now for the Wizards. Wagner, he's checked in for Thomas Bryant. Hachimura comes in for Bertanis, and Thomas subbed in for Brown.
And for the Cavs, their #1 goal is to identify a young superstar to build around.
They've had a nice collection here of guys that they hope step up and step out. Cleveland's only 2 Rookie of the Year award winners have been LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. Franchise changers hard to find.
Beal the pass to Wagner. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
2 teammates connecting right there. Slick feed.
And here's Clarkson. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Here's Love. 11 feet out, and he hits it. And the Cavaliers lead by 3.
Kevin Love in a good rhythm there from the mid-range makes the job of the defense a lot harder when he's knocking that down.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave. Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And we hope you enjoyed the competitive first half of action. Ernie Johnson here welcoming you back to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. That guy right there is Shaquille O'Neal, and that guy right there is Kenny the Jet Smith. The first quarter for the Cavaliers was fairly even. At the end of one, they were able to end up with a 5-point lead. They didn't stop fighting in the second quarter as they maintained most of their first quarter lead and now lead by 3 at the break. Kenny, your thoughts? That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks. Thanks for joining.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. You know, Larry Nance has been exceptional here, guys.
Yeah, and through the first 2 quarters, he has been the offense for this team.
Yeah, he's shouldering the load right now and looking really comfortable while he's doing it.
Sexton and Osman on the perimeter. A duo inside, Love and Thompson. And it's Garland in at the 1. And that's the group for John Beilein as we begin the second half. Here's Osman. Poked away. From 11 feet away. Jump shot is good.
Oh, he had him spinning. He looks like he's dizzy after that crossover.
Outside, Wall. Beal deciding where to go with it. They double-team Beal. Here's Pertinas. Brent, when it comes to moving around in tight quarters without a lot of space, who's the quickest player that you have seen in a half-court set this year?
Still remarkable to watch where it is that Kyrie Irving can get to on the floor in any sort of possession. It's like he could take, 50 dribbles in a phone booth and find a way out of it, spinning around and finding gaps within the defense.
What a handle.
But it's not his handle with just the one hand, right, Kevin? It's about he has an idea of after he does the moves around the traffic, when he gets into the basket, multiple ways of finishing, much like Rod Strickland, who was a tremendous finisher in his days years and years ago. Kyrie's got a lot of that in his game.
That one falls, so he hits both of them.
And a coaching hire by the Cavaliers that caught most off guard. John Beilein had led the Michigan Wolverines for 12 seasons, their all-time leader in coaching wins.
Well, there was also talk the year prior about John Beilein joining the Detroit Pistons organization, so finally making the jump to the NBA, where it's a much different challenge. It's going to be very interesting to see how it is that Coach Beilein implements a lot of his offensive schemes that were so successful in college.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, last season the G League tested out an expansion of the clear path rule. Now that expansion is making its way to the NBA. It should discourage those intentional fouls that slow up teams on the fast break. Fans wanted it, and analysts clamored for it. That will allow the amazing athletes in this league more opportunities to show what they can do in the fast break.
You're right, David. A welcome change. Thank you. Left side, Beal for the lead. Bertans can't get it to go.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
Now, here's Sexton. Not a lot of room. Love outside. Love draws the double. 5 on the clock. Garland, the pass to Thompson. Out of bounds. Washington takes possession. And Cleveland making a change here. Porter's checked in. And a new group getting ready for the Wizards. Wagner, he's checked in for Thomas Bryant. Hachimura comes in for Bertinis. C.J. Miles, he's checked in for Troy Brown. And Smith subbed in for John Wall. And it's Smith with the ball. He brings it up for the Washington Wizards. They've only allowed 2 points so far here in the second half. And he uses the glass on the layup. Smith's got his first points in this one. 7 lead changes now, and we're just in the third quarter.
Yeah, frustrating for a coach, but it's great to watch as a fan.
Garland kicks to Sexton. Trying to get something going. You know, some people, Brent, have compared the hard-nosed Colin Sexton to Russell Westbrook. What do you think?
I think that might be overshooting it a little bit. Russell is Russell, quite frankly, but at 6'2" with those long arms, is he a bigger version of maybe Eric Bledsoe, who played his early years with the Clippers and now with the Bucks, where he can get out and defend, use that body and size a little bit to bowling ball his way into the interior and make some things happen.
The Wizards making a switch here. Thomas is checked in. No good on the second free throw.
The coaching staff in Cleveland really raved last year about the way that Colin Sexton worked. It's going to be really interesting with Coach Beeline as the head man this year in Cleveland, how he deploys Colin Sexton, what he asks him to do. Is he capable of taking this system and heading it up right away as they come out of training camp? An interesting thing to watch.
It's Porter outside. Cleveland with a fresh shot clock. And Nance kicks to Porter. Goes up again. They get it back. Windler with the bucket.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
Washington trailing. Smith finds Miles. Here's Wagner. Here's Hachimura. Covered by Nance. Offensive rebound. And out of bounds. The Cavaliers will take it. Kevin Love's checked in for the Cavaliers. And the Wizards making a change here as well. Brown's checked in. We've got 1:08 left in the third quarter of the game. Now, here's Clarkson. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Here's Windler. And the basket is good. And the Cavaliers lead by 4.
He seems to be in the right place at the right time more often than anybody that's on the court here tonight. We see that pay off.
Here's Hachimura. He doesn't hit that one. Good D from Love.
Well, if he's going to keep shooting, they've got to run some plays for him. Screens, pick and rolls, anything they can do to get him started.
And dishes to Porter. Here's the 3. It's hauled in by Brown.
And when you can't get anything to fall, it definitely gets in your head.
Especially if you're a player that doesn't get a lot of shot attempts, but otherwise the mindset is, I just got to get the next one to go. And you don't want to put that much pressure on yourself.
6 to shoot. Outside Thomas. Over Nance. Here's Wagner. It's off.
This is where Larry Nance Jr. is invaluable to a coaching staff. A big that has lateral quickness to switch out.
And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
Sometimes that's what can separate some of the best players, not just creating for yourself, but creating for others as well.
We've reached the fourth quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. Fourth quarter on the court for the Wizards. Hachimura and Bryant are in the middle. All out there with Thomas. And it's Brown in at the 3 slot. Oh, Nance in position. Up high to stop the alley-oop.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop. Here's Hachimura. And that comes off the assist by John Wall.
You have to push Hachimura out of there if you're the defense. He's a real problem on the interior.
Timeout called the Cavaliers. And out of Japan, a real interesting prospect, Hachimura, especially now that he can stretch the floor.
Yeah, he found the three ball in his last year of college, hit over 40%. You combine that with the size, the motor, he is really versatile, and I feel like he's putting it all together.
Bertans checks in for the Wizards. Beal comes in for Isaiah Thomas. He gets a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, during the last break, I got a chance to hear what John Beilein told his team. His concern was both their inconsistency and their amount of three-point shots. He said, let's move the ball for good shots. If you have an open three, take it. Otherwise, let's attack the rim and put some pressure on these guys. Kevin?
And I just love the way Wall kind of knifes through that defense. He is masterful at slashing to the rim.
Clarkson taking his time here. Over Bertans. And that one hits back iron.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
And he gets a lot of points right there at the rim, but the defense determined not to give up the easy deuce there.
It's stolen by Bertans. Now Wall. Outside Bryant. Here's Beal. That's good, and it's Bryant with the assist. Beal's got it all tied up now for Washington.
That's an excellent play call to free him up from the defense.
Well, taking advantage of that opportunity, it does not get any more high percentage than that one.
The pass to Garland. The three. Nice D from Wall.
Having a hand up in your face makes such a difference to a shooter.
Yeah, as good as you can do without getting a block there to defend.
And guys, all about hard work from this point on. They've worked hard to create that high-quality shot and then able to knock it down.
Sexton, he's checked in for Jordan Clarkson.
One shot.
The Cavaliers trail by 3. Garland with it. Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. Love kicks to Garland. Once again off the mark by Cleveland. And the Wizards with possession. Right now they're on a 9-0 run. Brown the pass to Wall. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And Wall has said he wants to be in the MVP conversation moving forward. A terrific floor general with unreal athleticism.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls.
Oh my gosh, I just got that.
And he makes the first but misses the second. The Cavaliers trail by 4. And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. And here is Garland. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
And Kevin Love, no stranger having the ball when it's tight like this. Terrific at stepping up.
That free throw good from Love.
Yeah, not the guy that you want to put at the line in these moments. He's not missing these.
And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
When a pick like that is questionable and creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
Yeah, a quick little lean like that is going to get the ref's attention. Foul call.
And it's sent back by Bryant. Beal, that's for two. And good, coming off the assist by Wall. Wall's got 3 assists in the game. The Cavaliers trail by 3. To the wing right side. Wallace with it, working on Bertans. 4 on the clock. Here's Osman. Washington with the rebound. Bryant's got his 5th rebound in this one. Brown finds Wall.
Wall's got a pretty well-developed game for a point guard. He can navigate his way through the big bodies with very few problems.
Timeout called the Cavaliers. They're trailing by 5. There's 53 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Bradley Beal.
And his focus, guys, has been laser sharp, and his touch from the field, flawless. The teammates have worked hard to get him the ball in some good positions, and boy, has he rewarded them with a spectacular shooting performance. Great call to keep running all those sets for him.
Here's Love. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Thompson.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
43 seconds left here in the 4th quarter. And they go to the intentional foul. Outside, Beal, and stolen by Love.
And he was camped in just the right spot to swipe that pass away down low.
Here's Garland. To the wing on the left. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Love is confident when it comes to attacking the defense, especially when he gets closer and closer to the rim.
At the line for 2.
And no good as the first free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second.
And what you like about Kevin Love right here is the attention to detail. He's always had a great knack, those early years in Minnesota, about being in the right place at the right time.
He's able to hit the second one, and that shrinks the margin to just 4.
That one miss was huge. He had a chance to turn this into a one-possession game.
And so they foul intentionally.
You had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
Shooting 2.
2 shots.
He drops the first one, and that puts them up by 5. So he gets them both, and it's a 6-point ball game.
And as long as they can keep doing that kind of work at the foul line, this lead will be safe.
Timeout called the Cavaliers. They trail by 6. There's 21 seconds left in the 4th quarter of this one. Guys, your thoughts?
There's still a sliver of hope.
Yeah, act fast, but without mistakes.
There's 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And he commits the intentional foul.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
He hits the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's an 8-point game. They can score it here, but it won't mean much.
Kevin, turn out the lights. This party's over.
It might be. Outside, Beal. And so it's the Wizards with the W. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to feel good about it. Really an outstanding effort all the way around.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks with John Wall. John, it sure looks like the chemistry is coming